Studies 1-1. So in the 10 thematic strand, I'll choose time, continuity, and change. Before I interpret this strand, I will give first the concept of this strand. So, concept of time, continuity, and change. Studying the past make it possible for us to understand the human story across time. So, let's begin now. In studying and understanding the concept of time, change, and culture in history, we must first know the definition of history itself. Thus, we will understand what happened in the past to guide the present and future. In essence, history is a concept of continuous time, change, repetition, and development which concerning all activities and results of human work in the past in harmony with a series of causes and consequences. One of the core essence of history is change. The concept of time in history has continuity and units of the duration of time travel. The dimension of time in history is important because of the events concerning human society takes place in time and space. Time in history is often referred to as zoning, harmonization, periodization, and period. There are three concepts of time in history, or the dimension of time in the history. First is past, or time ago. Second is present, or time now. And third is future, or time next. In this case, the continuity of time needs to be made in the initial and final boundaries, which are the sequential time periods. The chronological period in history is the time period. The purpose of making a period of time is first, facilitate in understanding. Second, make it easy to simplify a history. Third, knowing history chronologically. Fourth, eligible systematic in science. And the last one, facilitate classification in historical science. History and sociocultural. Intrinsic and intrinsic functions. Changes are common symptoms in human society, that is, a social change and a change of culture. Sociocultural changes can't be separated because culture comes from the community and society is not possible without culture. Concept of socio-cultural changes too. There are three concepts of socio-cultural changes or cultural changes. First is invention, the process by which new ideas are created and developed. The second is diffusion, dissemination or communication of ideas into the social system. Third is consequences, the changes that occur in the social system as a result of adaptation or rejection of innovation. So, there are three discoveries of concepts. First is discovery. The discovery of a new element of culture, whether in the form of a new total or new idea created by the individual or community concerned. Second, invention. Discovery is new to invention if society has recognized, accepted, and applied for the new invention in life and life. And the third is innovation, a process and or the results of the development of the utilization of an existing product or resource. Forms of changes the social and culture. There are four forms of social change. The first one is evolution, the cultural change that occurs slowly. Second is revolution, rapid change and affects the adjoints of principal bases of community life. The third is intended change, planned cultural changes or change. The fourth is unattended change is unplanned and cultural change. There are two cause social and cultural changes, or there are two factors that cause social and cultural changes. The first is internal factors. What is meant by internal factors is a factor that comes from within the community itself. External factors. Socio-cultural changes can be caused by factors that come from outside the community. Changes are common symptoms in human society. No society ever really static. Sooner or later all the people will change. So this is so thank you for listening, and that's all my interpretation about time, continuity and change.